Hey Waffle Gang, I do hope you are well. My name is Mark and today we're checking out some more relationship stories, and if you do love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting that like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too. Let's crack on with today's first story, which comes from Throwaway Wedding Gal, who asks, am I the arsehole for saying my niece can't perform? Me, 26 female, and my husband Jay, 28 male, are getting married November 30th. Jay has two sisters, Mary, 25 female, and Regina, 35 female. Both sisters have a husband and daughter. Mary approached us 4 months ago and asked if her daughter, Katie, 5, could perform a song for us. Katie is very sweet and we adore her. Mary said Katie had went to her music teacher and asked to help her sing so she could sing at our wedding, but Mary wanted our permission first. Jay and I said yes and are very excited to hear her perform. Apparently, Regina caught wind of this and basically told us that her daughter Emma, 10, is also performing a stand-up comedy act. Now Emma is a very nice girl too, but can sometimes be a lot. Regina kind of enables this behavior. She was diagnosed with ADHD, but her and her mum use it as an excuse to her poor behavior. The other day I had told Emma to stop climbing on the furniture while we were all watching TV. Emma screamed in my face, "I have ADHD, you can't tell me what to do." And Regina just shrugged. We asked what this comedy show entailed. She basically told us that it was a surprise and that we would love it. This was Monday. Last night, Jay got a text from Mary. She sent him a video that Regina had sent her saying, "Little preview of the act," with a smiley face. The video of Emma practicing her routine, saying very inappropriate stuff that shouldn't be said at a wedding, let alone by your 10-year-old niece. The video ended and she was saying congrats Elle and Mouse. Jay and I have known each other since kindergarten. We've been friends our entire lives before heading off to college. Growing up, I was always on the bigger side. Jay, however, was a late bloomer. Senior year, he was only 5 foot and like 100 pounds. I've been 5'5" since 8th grade and a lot more than 100 pounds. When we went to his family's house as an official couple for dinner, Regina said, "Wow, I can't believe the elephant and the mouse finally got together." She laughed and explained that Jay came home from school one day and told his family that he was going to marry me one day. She saw me at an event a few days later and thought it was funny that a little mouse like her brother would like an elephant of a girl like me. Her parents along with her siblings told her to knock it off, and that was the last time she ever said something like that. We have a feeling that a lot of the comedy act was actually Regina feeding Emma these jokes to pull something at our wedding. We ended up texting Regina letting her know that we do not want Emma to perform her skit. Since last night, we have got a non-stop text from Regina saying that we're ruining her daughter's life and being mean by letting another child perform but not letting hers. I do not feel like I am an arsehole, but I feel like there could have been a better way to handle things, but I just didn't see it, so am I the arsehole? Now, I may be going a step too far here, but when you said that paragraph about you have a feeling that a lot of the comedy act was actually Regina feeding Emma these jokes to pull some kind of thing at our wedding, it gave me that suspicion as well. And the fact, she's just been so bloody rude to you, it sounds for like a long time. And I got a question. Why'd you want someone like that at your wedding to begin with? I know navigating family relationships can be difficult, but she just sounds like an awful person so far. And I can understand having like a little young child singing at your wedding to you. I think that's a really sweet thing. But someone wanting to do a comedy act, that sounds like an absolute disaster. And you know for a fact that she has been feeding her stuff because the video ended with them saying congrats Elle and Mouse. So she has been told. But now we're going to move to some comments to see what they say. And we're going to start off with Ben Franklin Katniss, who says, "Speak with her before the wedding and lay out the boundaries. Tell her the consequences of violating those boundaries. In my opinion, there wouldn't be a 3 strikes option. It would be nuclear. Violate a boundary and Regina, her brat and husband will be escorted out and off venue property. If any of the 3 refuse, you will stop the ceremony, give every guest a front row view of their abysmal behavior and call the police and press charges for trespassing. And since Regina is acting like a child, I would treat her as one. Do you understand me territory? When she decides to wear adult knickers, invitations may resume, after evaluating all the ill will she has created. By the way, if that was your house where the 10-year-old was climbing on the furniture, I'd be quick to say, in this house, people stop doing something when they're asked to. If you're an infant, then I would understand. How do you wish to behave? As a maturing 10-year-old or as an infant? I'd get with your SO and agree that when 10-year-old acts up beyond her age and Regina refuses to address the misbehavior, you and SO politely tell them to leave. Do not give that budding brat an inch or she will make every get-together an ordeal, and same for Regina. May some higher power grant you fortitude to be polite and consistent. Be sure to tell his extended family of the boundaries you have instituted at your wedding. Be very clear these boundaries are set because of Regina's and her daughter's behavior, and you will not change them. SO will need to back you or be the one to set the boundaries with Regina and tell SO's family. OP responded to that and said, "This is very helpful. I think with planning to speak with her beforehand, she will agree and apologize, but we'll do something later on. And I know this will make me sound pathetic, but I hate confrontation, and I know if there was a scene, I would freeze up. Also, Regina is the golden child to the extended family because she is the oldest daughter. Jay said that we're going to receive many, 'Oh, she would never,' or 'Well, what did you do to upset poor Regina?' and doesn't want to go that route because hearing that no one believed us will hurt us more." Meg Peaches says, "Not the arsehole, you can decide who performs at your wedding and who doesn't, and that child's behavior is wildly inappropriate. You can let the mother know the exact reason her daughter will not be performing at your wedding. Tell her that the jokes she makes have affected the girl's comedy in a way you don't deem appropriate for your guests or your wedding night. If they request that your other niece not perform since her daughter can't just politely say no, and that she will be performing since she hasn't offended the bride and groom." OP says, "She doesn't know we saw the video, and we don't want to throw Mary under the bus by saying she sent it to us. I don't think Regina knows we know what she's been joking about. We just don't know how to approach this and what to say to her." Operation 009 says, "Not the arsehole. Given the context of that joke, I very much agree with your suspicion. It sounds like Regina is feeding Emma her material so that whatever joke she wanted to make, Emma will tell. I suspect that if anyone calls out the act, Regina and Emma will both pull the 'I have ADHD so I get a free pass' card to defend it. Also ruining her life. Does Regina think talent scouts will be at your wedding? Good on you for seeing through this obvious guilt trip. I say you've handled this the best you can. If Regina continues doubling down, I highly suggest disinviting her from the ceremony altogether, since Regina sees your day as just another way to mock you and your husband. Perhaps it would be better if she were not present at all." OP responds saying, "The talent scouts made me laugh. They have used the ADHD excuse many times, so I don't doubt they will again. Believe me, I'm starting to want to tell her to not come, but it's hard because she is the oldest daughter in the whole family and is seen as the golden child from other members. I don't want her telling them a version of what happened and they turn off Jay and I." Scammer C says, "Not the arsehole. How did Regina catch wind of such an intimate request? You should get an audition for your other niece as well, just in case someone asks. It will be a stark illustration of what drove your decision." OP says Regina was at Mary's house when she heard Katie talk about her performance, and Mary briefly explained what she was doing. Also, Katie is singing "You Are My Sunshine" because Jay has been singing it to her when she was born, and the first time I met Katie, she asked me to sing it to her. Now that she's older, she wants to sing it to us. We really don't want to hear her sing until the day of, but I don't know how that will go now." Scammer C responded to that saying, "You can work with her to come up with a comedy routine that you like. Don't slam the door shut, just ask for a different type of set. If she improves, great. If not, or they don't want to change, that's all you need to know." OP responds saying, "My only thing is that the stuff she was saying was no comedy routine. It was just insults, backhanded comments, and gross stuff. Both of them don't take criticism well and have been known for saying one thing and doing another. I don't want to waste this week finding a new thing for Emma just for her and Regina to go out with the original act or do something worse." So then OP comes in to update the post, which says, "Hello everyone. I'm not sure if this is allowed, but I wanted to just give an update for anyone that was following along with all of this crazy stuff. First and foremost, thank you to everyone who's given me advice and support in your comments and DMs. Jay and I deeply appreciate it. I was not expecting a lot of people to even read this, let alone care enough to respond, so thank you all so much. Also, I wanted to answer some questions some of you have had before I give an update. 1. Jay. A lot of people were telling me that this was Jay's responsibility since it's his sister. When this all went down, Jay was ready to scorch earth. He was ready drafting an email calling his sister out and sending an email to his family, telling them what happened and that she was not going to be invited. I was the one who wanted to wait until we had a plan and eliminate all the what ifs. I think Jay was or is a lot more upset than I am, which is a lot. Jay agreed with writing this on here to gain a little advice from outside sources. Just wanted to clear this up and let everyone know he was just as much involved in this situation. 2. Mary. Someone asked what was Mary's part in this. Did she send the video maliciously? Did she instigate this whole situation? The short answer is no. She sent that video to us and called us right after. She has always defended me and shut all of Regina's things down right away. She responded to Regina saying that whatever game she is trying to play with will not work and she will tell everybody all the things Regina has pulled if she didn't grow up. We had spoken to Mary and she told us it was okay to tell Regina that she sent the video to us. 3. A lot of people were saying the obvious, it's your wedding, don't let her perform, which I know, obviously. I decided Emma will not be performing, however, I want to eliminate the chance for anything else Regina might want to pull. I've known her long enough to know that she will one way or another do something to knock me down or turn the spotlight on her, which a lot of you pointed out. I also came on here for some help because I don't want to spend my entire wedding looking over my shoulder and always on the defense in case she tried to do something, which a lot of you pointed out was inevitable. So many of you helped me realize that what I was thinking didn't make me the bad guy. It's my day, so thank you everyone again. On to the update. 2 days later after I posted, Jay and I called Regina on his phone. I used my phone, not sure if it's illegal, just so we had proof of anything she would say that she could lie about in the future. Jay decided to take the lead in case she tried to act like this was all me. He wanted to make sure she knew this was his decision too. The conversation went like this, paraphrasing here, but this is the gist. Jay said, Regina, OP and I decided it would not be appropriate for Emma to perform at our wedding. Regina replied, no, Katie's performing, that's not fair. Jay said Katie is singing a 45-second song that is meaningful to OP and me. Emma performing a comedy is not appropriate for our wedding. She can perform at family dinner the night before, or she can privately perform for just the two of us, but we do not want a comedy act at the reception. Regina said no. She wants to perform in front of people. If Katie is, then Emma should too. Jay said, okay, Katie will perform for just the two of us, so then it's fair. Regina says, well, she still wants to perform in front of people. Jay says, it's not her day. You do realize no one performs stand-up at a wedding, right? She's 10, she'll get over it. Regina replies, how dare you? To which then OP says, Regina, you never told us what Emma will be saying. You said it's a surprise, but Mary told us what Kate will be doing beforehand, and that's why we agreed. We have a problem with letting Emma do this, especially since we do not know what she will be doing. This received a fist bump from Jay, lol. Regina said, it's a surprise, it's funny, it's harmless. Jay said, it's our wedding. Emma will not be getting a mic for her to spew rude comments towards my wife for you to laugh. Regina says, I have no idea what you're talking about. Which Jay responded, you do know what I'm talking about and it's childish and that you are lying about it. Emma is not a vessel for your poor comments. She will not be performing at our wedding. If you try anything, you will be removed from our wedding. Regina says, you can't do that. She's 10. She has a medical condition. OP, you're being a bridezilla. Jay responded, I am the one speaking. This is a mutual choice. Emma is old enough to know that what she is saying is mean. You're old enough to know that you shouldn't live vicariously through your daughter's childish behavior. I need to hear you say that Emma is not performing, and if something happens, you will be removed. Regina responds, fine. Then, we decided to end the conversation after we got on tape Regina repeating what Jay said. We haven't spoken to her since. A little while later, Mary sent a screenshot of Regina calling her all sorts of names for ratting her out and ruining her day. She didn't respond but took pictures just in case. We called Jay's parents and my family to catch them up with what's been going on. Jay's parents were horrified and said that if Regina told any family and they came to them, they would tell them the truth. My family agrees too. I also didn't mention this, but our DJ/MC is Jay's friend from college. Jay called DJ, yes, that's also his name, lol, after we spoke to Regina and told him the gist and to keep the microphone with him at all times, not to let them get a chance of any speeches or anything. DJ told us not to worry and that he will keep the attention on us the whole time. So things were pretty smooth since then. Last night, however, I got a text from Emma. She has an iPad that she texts from, and guess what it was? A single elephant emoji. I will admit, I did cry. I honestly felt this was over and things were fine, but this felt like a bucket of water dumped on me. Jay texts back to Emma. This is Uncle Jay. What you are doing is not nice. I think you know what you are doing is mean to your aunt and we do not like it. We love you, Emma, but we will not let you be mean to us even if it is a joke. And Regina, if this is you, stop. We ended spending the night watching movies and just cooling off from all of this. Anyways, that was the small update. We get married in 3 days, so I'll update you if anything happens. Thanks again for everything. Sorry for any typos, I'm just tired. And edit, you all are so sweet. Thank you all for the support and advice. I will definitely update after Wednesday, either on my profile or if I can update again here, I will. Then OP gives us one final update, which says, hello everyone. First, thank you for all your advice, support and funny comments during this time. I don't know if this is weird, but I feel like a lot of y'all are my new friends, lol. I'm married, y'all. Everything was perfect. I'm officially stuck with my best friend and I couldn't be happier. We decided to change some things from, I guess, a traditional wedding because we wanted some things to just be for us. For example, instead of a first look, we spent the morning getting ready together, which was perfect. We also did our vows together by ourselves in a separate area at our venue. I'd always wanted a vineyard wedding, so to be able to walk the area while reading our vows together was a dream. On to the update. Might be pretty long, so I'm sorry in advance. Everyone's comments gave me and Jay the final push. First, we sat down with our immediate family and told them Regina and Emma were not coming. They were upset that Regina had to act this way and, in a way, is punishing herself, even though she doesn't see it that way. They understood and told us not to worry. They will be lookout. Kind of funny imagining my 5'2" mum being a tough bouncer, but I appreciate it, lol. Jay and I also took some people's advice by letting guests, extended family know our decision before Regina, just in case she went to people. They would already know. We sent a large group email out to family and guests. I know you all want to know, so I copied and pasted the bulk of it. It said, hello friends and family. We are so excited to be celebrating with you all on our special day. We cannot wait to see you all and have you share this time with us. We have a small announcement that we ask you to read and respect. Over this past week, we have decided not to invite Jay's sister and niece, Regina and Emma. Though this decision will cause some different reactions to many, we have decided to put our day and ourselves as priority. Over the years, Regina has made rude comments towards OP that we have normally taken the higher road and brushed off. However, it has come to our attention that both Regina and Emma have tasked themselves with bringing these comments to the wedding in front of everyone. Having everyone's attention be taken by bullying on our day is something we will not have. Though some of you may not agree, we ask you all to respect our decision. Both are old enough to know right from wrong, mean from nice. If this is something you do not agree with, that's fine. It is our day. We will not be changing our minds. We cannot wait to see you all so very soon. Surprisingly, we were met with positive reactions. I'd say maybe 95% of our guests were on board with the email. Many of Jay's family sent me private texts apologizing on her behalf and let me know that they would be there. The other 5% reached out to Jay and I disagreeing with our choice. I think Regina had told these people made up things about Emma/her ADHD, Regina in general. They were saying we were just as bad as them for doing this to a 10-year-old girl who's been bullied and a mother whose husband doesn't care about them and all of that. We just responded saying that everyone is entitled to their opinion, but it will not change our decision. And if they didn't agree, they are not being forced to come. Jay had actually sent the email and those guests' responses to Regina's husband too. He was actually very upset for us. He was upset that Regina was saying stuff about Emma that wasn't true and acting as if he didn't care for his family. I mentioned in a comment that he originally wasn't going as he had work, but told us his trip is 10 minutes away from the venue and if anything happened, he will handle them. Then we moved on to telling Regina. we sent her the following text. Regarding our phone call and yours and your daughter's blatant disregard for our feelings, you and Emma will not be coming to our wedding. This decision was made because of your rude comment and you pushing this bullying on your daughter. We will not have you both ruining our day. This is not up for discussion nor compromise. She read it but did not respond. For extra measures, we sent the same text to Emma but different vocab for a 10-year-old. Same with her. The night before the wedding, me, Jay, his parents, and siblings and my mum and siblings had a small dinner at the venue. This is where we offered Emma to do her act. Regina and her clan did not show up, but that was probably for the good. Having everyone on board with the wedding and reassuring nothing was going to happen made everything so much better and stress-free. Finally, our wedding day arrived. It was amazing. Having all of our friends and family there was a dream. I even danced. I'm not a dancer, but thought, what the hell, and it was so fun. Katie was able to sing in front of everyone, and it was amazing. Me and Jay both cried. No one spoke about Regina for the most of the night, aside from a few people pulling me aside and apologizing for her, / asking if I was okay. Around the time after dinner and before dessert, you'll never guess who showed up. We had known before we physically saw her, as our videographer told us as soon as she saw them walking up to the dinner area, so at least I had a little time to prepare. I started to feel sick and felt like the day was ruined, but then realized that this was my day. I felt secure enough to know that our friends, family, DJ, venue staff all had our backs, and if there was a scene, the only person Regina would embarrass is herself. I finally realized that I was stressing so much leading up to the wedding, but at that moment, I realized I couldn't care less of what was going on. No one was going to ruin our day, and I admit that made me feel badass. We had enlisted help from a bouncer, aka a family friend of mine who is around 6'5" and over 300 pounds. He is a total teddy bear, but obviously can look like he could kill you. He walked up to them and told them to leave. This was met with her raising her voice and saying things like, "No, I was invited. My daughter is performing. We scheduled a performance." Obviously, none of that is true and my friend wouldn't budge. She and Emma started trying to make a scene. They were shouting, trying to grab decorations, stomping, all of that. I mean trying, because no one who was there paid them any attention. Like no one even looked at them. Thanks to everyone who recommended sending a mass email out to everyone beforehand. They even started singing along to the DJ songs, like really loudly, like they were a concert. Thankfully, every time they started singing along, our DJ would very smoothly change it to a different song, and eventually Regina and Emma couldn't keep up with it. Then they started shouting things like, "Happy wedding day, I have a speech, we have an announcement." Note, our venue was outdoors, so even though they weren't inside the gated venue, they were still in earshot. But still, no one paid any attention to them, and everyone acted like they just didn't exist, which I could tell was getting to them. I didn't find out until after the fact. While this was going on, Mary called Regina's husband and told him what was happening. He showed up and was not the happiest. I've never seen this side of him, but he was like a man that reached his limit. I didn't see it, but apparently he walked up to Regina and said, "We're leaving now." Handed Mary a card from him and very discreetly forced him into his car. At this point, I think Regina realized that the attention she wanted wasn't coming, so she left with a huff. So that's it. I'm sorry if people were looking for a big dramatic thing. I think everything worked itself out. She essentially dug her own grave. I am so thankful how amazing our family and friends were. Even after she left, no one brought it up. The night ended so beautifully, and I could not imagine anything better. We are on our honeymoon in Greece right now. Jay's mum called us yesterday to check in and said that all of the extended family and friends have almost blocked Regina out of their lives, and no one has really heard from her since. His mum thinks she is radio silent so she can lick her wounds in private, but if something happens, she is not going to tell us until we're home so we can enjoy the rest of our trip. So this sounds to be the last of the updates for now. Thank you everyone for all of your help, advice, stories, and funny jokes. Thank you for becoming my friends for a day and helping me with one of the best times of my life. Added note. Hello, this is Jay, aka the husband of my lovely girl. I had a little bit of fear of missing out from all of this discussion, and seeing my wife smile and laugh at all your comments made me want to hop on here. Thank you to everyone who gave my wife, feels weird saying that but so right at the same time, advice and pick-me-ups. She's always the advice giver and the person people go to with their problems. So seeing her being able to be on the receiving end with random people who took the time out of their day to help her is really appreciated. I've been planning our wedding since 8th grade, and I could not be happier with how it turned out, even if we had some drama along the way. We were on a honeymoon, but she wanted to update everyone who joined along the way. So thank you, internet people, for putting a smile on my wife's face. I got it from here. I never understand in stories like this, after everything that's gone on, they still attempt to turn up to the wedding to cause a scene. Who thinks like that? Anyway, now I'm going to turn this one to you guys. What do you guys make of that situation? Almost brings me back to the days of entitled people and entitled parents, right? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And just a huge thank you for spending your time with me today, getting involved in the stories. Your love, support, and time always means the absolute world. And hopefully I will see you in the next one. Take care and much love.